I'm going to teach my favorite full guard kind of attack sequence, something that has helped me from when I first started learning full guard, and then I started building upon it to get through a lot of issues that I ran into as I progressed. Okay, so the first things first, I realize more that I train, the longer I train, chaining is super important. So I always start with something, and then it leads me to another thing and another thing. But so I don't ever really worry about setting something super complicated up. The very first thing I do is I try to secure this grip. One thing you'll notice is that a lot of people will try to open it up and all that. I like doing all that too. I'm not nothing different. The only problem I have is when I'm starting setting up this collar, a lot of times they'll push my chest in stiff arm and I can't get what I want, okay? So even with the good stiff arm, this is what I do. I get the collar as high as I can, and then if I want to end up here, right? So this is how I do it. I don't actually pull the collar in to set this up. I put my elbow to the floor. And what I do is I sort of post on my hand. So when I pull my elbow to the floor, my shoulder will raise. When it raises, I can get deeper. So I get a little shallow grip, so they're not tripping on it too much. I come up to my elbow. This allows me to come up like this. The second piece of that is my elbow is up high. For me to bring him in, I have to break his posture, right? So this is what I do. I bounce off my elbow, and I hug, and I bring them down. So with all that weight coming up down on them, it's gonna be really hard for them to keep their posture. So I just hug their shoulder. Once we're falling, I just grab with my thumb a grip right here, whether it's in the collar or whatever. I don't really care. I just care about grabbing my thumb in. By this time, they're like, posture's broken, I need to get it back. So when they push away, I lock right into a choke. I finish, okay? But part of my sequence is, that worked for a while, and then they got cool to it, and then so this is what they do. They try to relieve pressure with the wrist, right? So when they do that, their elbows are flared. This is when I reverse. So I pull them in, I couldn't finish. So what I do now is I push them away to give my guard an opportunity to close around the shoulder, okay? So I go here, he's blocking me, I push away just a little bit, and then I lock around that inside arm. The hand is inside, it's not a big deal to me. If it was the forearm inside, that's a problem. But I try to latch my thigh right over the top of the hand, like this. From here, obviously I have triangle, but my favorite thing to do is look at this arm to finish the arm bar. And this is how I do it. I pull this out, and I secure that arm that's leaving. I want to keep this closed. So what I do is I extend the arm, and then I climb the shoulder. Once the shoulder is gone, it's arm bar. Just like that. Okay. So let's try again. So I reach for the collar with my elbow to the floor first. So I come up like that. Notice I get super high. That's good for me. But now I have to swing this arm behind his neck. So I bounce off my elbow, and then I catch. Once I catch, he's gonna fall. And then the whole time I'm looking for this next. My thumb in, like that. And then I use my guard to push him away to secure the choke. By now, he's gonna stop. He's gonna try to counter the choke. I try to sell it. As he hunkers down, I push just a little bit, and I lock up the triangle. From here, there's always one arm in, one arm out. The one that's outside, I want to take that. So I pull my arm out, I cover the shoulder, and a hip up to finish.